On the front page, I'm Lembit Öpik and welcome to Press Release here on Press TV, where we find the facts, kill the spin and tell it like it is about the headlines. In this second special edition, we consider a year's worth of press, posturing and people, and we release our verdict on a year of high drama, 2018. It's a year in which Catalonia in Spain tried to go independent from the rest of the Spanish country, while nearby the French tried to declare their independence from their own president. All year, Saudi Arabia conducted a brutal war with a little bit of help from those self-proclaimed human rights champions, Great Britain. And the USA and UK did their best to raise the temperature in the Ukraine, while California had some wildfires of its own. And I'll predict what the year ahead might bring. What a year! What wildness! What a world! Let's get down to the details and stare back at 2018 and its highs and lows. So, it's a year in which Catalonia in Spain tried to get its independence from the Spanish government. Those Catalonians have been unhappy for decades and it boiled over in the streets of Barcelona. Catalonia has always been a bit of a problem for Spain. It's rich, hard-working and very independent-minded. If you go there, you'll find long beaches, weird cathedrals, and some of the most rebellious Hispanic people on the planet. In 2018, they tried to break away from the rest of Spain. This caused police intervention in the streets, causing some of their top politicians to run away to Brussels. Spain ended the year unified, but not united.
Que la victòria de l'1 d'octubre doncs, es mantingui viva en els nostres caps.
The victory of October the 1st must stay alive in our heads and hearts. I wish that when we walk by the schools, streets and squares, some of them being renamed after that memorable day, we will feel that intimate and memorable remembrance, which we will pass through the generations. And above all, let us not stray from the only path we must follow in order to live in a full democracy, which is to constitute a Catalan republic and its international recognition.
Which is the opposite of France, which ended up united, but apparently against their own president Macron.
We have also experienced great rifts, and an anger has exploded, which was a long time coming. Anger against injustices, anger against the pace of globalization, which was at times difficult to understand. Anger against an administrative system which has become too complex and lacks oversight. Anger also against the deep changes which interrogate our society on its identity and its direction.
He annoyed them by promoting fuel duty charges. But even when he backed down, the rebellious French carried on demonstrating. Macron certainly wins the prize for turning his country against him in record time. He makes Theresa May seem like a positive hero. Having said that, the UK has had some troubles of its own. Britain's good friend Saudi Arabia has been buying millions of pounds of weapons from the British and dropping them on Yemenis. So one of the world's richest countries is therefore killing citizens in one of the world's poorest. Why is the UK supplying weapons? Well, business is business.
Mr. Speaker, 3 United Nations agencies said in January that Yemen was the worst humanitarian crisis in the world. So will the Prime Minister today commit to ending support to the Saudi bombing campaign and arms sales to Saudi Arabia?
The link that we have with Saudi Arabia is historic, it is an important one, and it has saved the lives of potentially hundreds of people in this country. And can I say that actually the fact that it is an important link is not just the view that I hold. The Shadow Foreign Secretary this morning said our relationship with Saudi Arabia is an important one. She also went on to say that doesn't mean we should be pulling up our punches, and I agree.
Saudi war crimes may be regrettable, but hey, nobody's perfect. There will be a day of reckoning sometime, but for now, let the arms trade roll. Best of all, it gives Britain the chance to look kind by supplying humanitarian aid to the poor Yemenis after they've been attacked with British weapons. So everybody wins, except the Yemenis, but then again, they don't buy any weapons from the UK, so you could say it's their own fault. Meanwhile, the UK and America were both keen on agitating the situation in the Ukraine, where Russia is having a little local difficulty with Crimea. The West says Putin is terrible for allowing it. But hold on a moment. Wasn't America messing about in Syria and Afghanistan? And with Iranian sanctions? Oh, and Libya, but that's been going on for a long time now, so it's a bit boring. While the West preaches to Moscow about being good, there's a fighting chance that the word hypocrisy might be the thing to say here.
Regarding the withdrawal of American troops, I don't know what that is. The United States have been present in Afghanistan for how long? 17 years? Every year they say that they are withdrawing troops from there, and so far they remain there. So far we see no signs of withdrawal of troops from there yet, but I allow that. It is possible.
Maybe Trump and co. might think twice about backing militant-style groups, which have certainly been noticed by real human rights campaigners back home.
He continues to threaten other countries around the world. That is only going to create more chaos, that is only going to create more hostility, that's only going to create more human suffering and migration.
Meanwhile, fires raged in California, killing large numbers of Americans. It seemed that the US was unable to tame the fires in the woodlands there as they were to tame the uprisings in the Middle East. And all the while, it looks like the sanctions they imposed on Iran were only making Tehran stronger, with self-sufficient gasoline production and a whole set of new opportunities with the likes of China.
This is an economic war, and we're confronting a bullying power. We've been selling our oil, and will continue to sell it in any circumstances.
Maybe they and their president overestimated themselves, to quote a famous character played by Clint Eastwood in the films About Dirty Harry, a man's got to know his limitations. Okay, time for some predictions about what could happen in the year ahead. Firstly, Spain will carry on fighting with itself as France carries on fighting its president. The United Kingdom will preach peace, send aid to Yemen, and continue to make sure that Yemen needs it by supplying arms to Saudi Arabia. And America will continue to firestart all over the world and then wonder why it's getting its fingers burned. So much for 2018. Thanks for watching, and join me next time for Press Release here on Press TV in 2019. The show that takes the political fiction out of the political friction. Hold the front page, but don't trust it. Trust me.